Hello and welcome to the third and final video in my Ouroboroid week series where I have been playing nothing but Ouroboroid, this amazing plant worm, and trying to make it work on the best of one ladder. So far I have played Gruul, I have played Golgari, and today we are on to the Simic variant of the deck. The Gruul variant, a little bit more focused on haste and ramp, whereas the Golgari variant, the one that I couldn't quite make work, was a little bit more interactive, playing a lot more removal, and had a secondary demon element to it. But yeah, that deck gave me some troubles. And then today we are on to the original deck, the Simic deck, the one that I played about a month ago. The video did quite well. Go check out that video if you want to see what that original build was like. This build, though, is a bit of an amalgamation of some of the stuff from that build, some of the stuff from other decks that I have seen online, and some stuff that is probably going to be pretty good against the meta right now. So let's talk briefly about the deck, and then we will jump into some gameplay. So of course we are playing a bunch of creatures. We have 3 copies, only 3 copies this time, of Ouroboroid, the creature that is going to be pumping up our team, putting +1/+1 counters on our creatures based on its power. This deck is also playing quite a few small creatures. We have 10 in the 1 slot. We are playing 4 copies of Siren, Spyglass Siren, a fantastic card. Map, when it enters the battlefield, it has flying. If you pump it up, it can get out of control and get in a lot of damage very easily. Llanowar Elves, the card that has been common among all these decks. I think if you're playing Ouroboroid, you probably want to be playing a little bit of ramp, and Llanowar Elves is the best one to get on the field early. And then 2 copies of Paw Patch Recruit. This card actually was in all 3 of the decks, but it was eventually cut from the Golgari deck. Maybe that was a big problem. This card is a house. It does so much for us. Every time our creatures are targeted by something our opponent controls, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control other than the targeted creature. So we should be getting our 1-drops onto the field pretty quickly. Our 2 slot is actually also very powerful. We are playing 2 copies of the Xenomorph Imago. This is a 1/3. Whatever land enters the battlefield, we get to make one of our creatures a 3/3 until the end of turn. And then if we have 6 or more lands, it becomes a 6/6 instead. It also has flying, so very good creature to be able to go at our opponent's face if we get an Ouroboroid on the field. We're playing 2 copies of the Azure Beastbinder, a card that I think a lot of people really like but probably underappreciate. This card has a lot of text on it. It's a 1/3 for 2 Vigilance. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or greater, so we'll be able to swing past a lot of big stuff. Then, whenever this creature attacks, up to 1 target artifact creature or planeswalker an opponent controls loses all abilities until your next turn. If it's a creature, it also has base power and toughness 2/2 until the end of turn. So this can slide past even a 1/1 if you make it a 2/2, and it can get in for a lot of damage if we have a Ouroboroid on the field. Additionally, it can just neuter something our opponent has because it's going to make it a base power 2/2 nothing. That's cool. Flood Pitch Drowner, another card that I'm sure you have run into quite a bit when you're playing against Dimir Flash or any of the Flash decks. This card, 2/1 for 1, or sorry, 2/1 for 2. It has Flash Vigilance. When it enters, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. Fantastic card. And then it has an activated ability to shuffle a stunned creature into its opponent's library. And then probably the card that you are wondering about, Undergrowth Leopard. I saw this in another deck on a various website. I can't remember what the website was, but yeah, why not? It is a 2/2 for 2 with Vigilance. Not terrible, but sacrifice this creature, destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is going to be very good since we are going to be running into a ton of synthesizer decks on the ladder. It's so annoying right now. Then in our 3 slot, a single copy of Surok to help us get creatures onto the field through a control matchup. Also, if people are targeting things, which is probably just going to be targeting Surok, we get to draw cards. So it kind of replaces itself in ways. Also, it's a 4/3 with Trample. That's cool. And then our last card, probably our most powerful card in the deck, is the 3 copies of the Enduring Curiosity. This card is absolutely insane. It is a 4/3 flash. Whenever this creature deals combat damage, or whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If we have this on the field, we attack in with a bunch of our 1/1 or 1/3 flyers. We can be filling our hand very quickly. Also, when it dies, it returns to the field as an enchantment, so it is very annoying and hard for the opponent to deal with. Absolutely love the Enduring Cycle, and I think that card's going to really make this deck pop off. So you can see we definitely have a lot of low-to-the-ground threats. We have some good flash synergies. Overall, pretty good stuff in the deck. Then we have some protection and some utility cards, 3 copies of Into the Floodmaw. We can bounce whatever we want with this. We can bounce artifacts, we can bounce enchantments, big threats, big creatures, whatever. 3 copies of Snakeskin Veil. I still believe in this card. I know some decks have moved away from playing the protection spells, but I think having hexproof is very important, especially if we get a valuable creature onto the field that can maybe win it for us. We need to be able to protect it. And then 2 copies of the Repulsive Mutation. Again, another card that I really, really like in the Simic shell. I like having a little bit of counter magic when I can. The final card is the Bushwhack. 1 mana, very flexible card. It allows us to fight something, or it allows us to go and get one of our basic lands. We are also playing a couple of special lands over in the sideboard. We are playing 2 copies of the Restless Vinestalker, a 5/5 green-blue plant with trample. That's cool. And then 2 copies of the Soulstone Sanctuary. So we do have some creature lands that can hopefully end the game against some of these board wipe tribal decks. So this is what I'm currently running with Simic. Let's hope it does a little bit better than the Golgari deck did and end this little experiment off with a bang. Let's hop into some games and see how it performs. See you over there. All right. Now I've definitely saved what I believe to be the best deck for last, and hopefully it performs well. Opening hand looks pretty good. We got a little bit of ramp, we got a little bit of flash. Now, do I really want to run out the Llanowar Elf without a 3-drop in hand? Maybe not. Let's put out the Restless Vinestalker, pass it back to the opponent, and see what they're on. Our opponent went up into Mythic very quickly. Mythic has, or sorry, the season has only been going for a few days. This is fine. Okay, we'll put out the Llanowar Elf. We'll see where this goes. The opponent on a Reanimator deck, by the looks of things, probably a Yuna deck. Oh man, Yuna. I keep saying I want to play Yuna, and then I never get around to actually playing it. Dredger's Insight from the opponent. So we have the option of going out with the Ouroboroid, and you know what? I think I kind of like the Ouroboroid. I know it's a little bit early, but I am going to run it out on 3. We went first. The opponent's on 3 mana. There's no guarantee. Well, there is a guarantee they'll hit 3-drop, but I don't think they're going to have a way of interacting with it. If we get through this turn, no, don't target it. I hate when they... Of course they have something. Why wouldn't they? Okay, fine. I'm... okay. I'm not okay. All right, fine. We start our beatdown. Of course. You see a deck like this and you kind of think, you know what, I guess they do have Bitter Triumphs because they want to be discarding something, but you kind of think like, maybe they don't have it. It's possible that they don't have it, but they always have it. All right, Fenrir hitting the field. We are going to Flood Pit Drowner the Fenrir, tap it down, and then we're going to be able to attack in for 5, hold up the Repulsive Mutation for some scary thing that's going to be coming in the future for us. And I think it's okay to put out this Spyglass Siren. I don't know why my brain always wants to call this a Siren Spyglass. That's just not working. So here comes the Yuna. Right? Right? Maybe not. It must be a Yuna. They're calculating things. They're going to remove my Drowner. So I could accept that and just deal with it. Yep. Okay, cool. Virtue of Persistence from the opponent and an Esper Origins. Yes, sir, you can do that, I suppose. I don't like our spot, but it is what it is. Give us a land so I can put out the Undergrowth. Nope, okay. So we're going to be putting a map onto the Spyglass Siren. There is our land. And I suppose we're attacking in for 4 damage. Not as much damage as I would hope, but it's still okay. And then maybe we're bouncing something, maybe we're playing the Repulsive Mutation. If they play out the Yuna, I believe I can bounce it. I think it's okay for me to counter this. Yeah. And we get to put a +1/+1 something. We'll put it here, we'll counter that. Always be careful with your Repulsive Mutation. It's one of those cards that catches me off guard whenever I play it. I always tend to mess it up for some reason. Okay, the plan is to put this out. We're still 1 point of damage short on lethal. We only have 7 on board. They're at 8 life, but I think they're going to play a Yuna. We're going to bounce the Yuna, right? Yeah. I played this properly. Okay. How do I go? Okay, just to make sure I have the opportunity to bounce her before it moves. Okay, good. So let's say goodbye to you. And again, we are a little bit stuck on mana, or on damage, unfortunately. Man, it would have been nice to finish this off, but... what can we draw? Ouroboroid. Oh! Hey! We get there. That's cool. Okay. GG. That's a fun little win right there. Okay. Wow, this deck is annoying. I love the interaction that's available in the deck for us to deal with the opponent's stuff. Got maybe a little bit lucky there. Poor Ouroboroid. Man, it can't stay on the field. All right, game number 2. I think I was so excited to get into this one that I actually didn't do any of my normal subscriber spiel. So I'll do it very quickly now. Hi. If you wouldn't mind, please subscribe up. It really helps me out, and it helps the channel grow. And that's it. Also, leave a comment. Let me know if you watched the video that I made about when you should open, or if you should open, mythic packs versus regular packs, and me doing the collection complete for Edge of Eternities. It was a questionable video for myself to do, I think, but it was kind of fun. Yeah. Okay, we got the Azure Beastbinder on the field, a card that I actually personally haven't played all that much, but it is going to be quite a powerful card. We're going to be able to turn this fear of missing off, kind of turn it off, essentially. So let's attack in, make it a 2/2. It loses all its abilities. We only get in for 1, not very powerful, but it is still okay. Let's put out the Spyglass Siren, and then... You know what? I don't think the opponent is going to have anything that is overly threatening, so I think I'm going to play out the other Azure Beastbinder. And then next turn, it might be a matter of holding up the Repulsive Mutation, although we only have a bunch of... still, I think it'll probably be effective enough. The opponent is definitely on a Reanimator deck. Arden, Valgavoth in the field. That is the Nostalgic Necros specialty. Head on over to Nostalgic Necros video. Every time I go up against a Valgavoth Arden player, I'm always reminded of the Nostalgic Necro, and I like to pump that channel if you can. Head on over. Last time I checked, he was close to 200 subscribers, so help him reach into a little bit higher, and help him get 200. That's what I'm getting at. Ooh, Ouroboroid. So I can't, in good conscience, put out the Ouroboroid. Unfortunately, I need to hold up this Repulsive Mutation. As much as I would love to do it, there's no way I can. So I should have done the map first. That's fine. Llanowar Elf is not good enough. We want a land. Okay. I wasn't thinking about plays. You should always think about what you're going to be doing before you do some stuff. Magic is a very careful game. Take your time. This should be a Zombify. So we'll play this out. We'll put a +1/+1 on an Azure Beastbinder. It is a Bitter Triumph instead. That's fine. Okay. The opponent not going to attack in. There's no point to attacking here. Yep. So these Beastbinders are really keeping the fear of missing out kind of locked down. That's cool. Okay, we'll do the same thing. We'll keep chipping in for damage. I hate the way that thing goes like that. And then we're still holding up one of these 2 Repulsive Mutations. I'm very terrified of a Zombify. We'll get to a point where it just doesn't matter. And actually, we got to be careful because now they might be able to pay for a Zombify. We are only... Thankfully, we have the Leopard on the field. So we'll do this. Counter that. They're down to 1 card. If we need runner, land, and it's not. Man. Now with the if they Zombify something with the Into the Flood Maw, if I draw a land, I can put out the Ouroboroid. But I could also just throw out the Ouroboroid right now and take the gamble. I think it's fine. We gotta get this on the field anyways. It has to happen. Let's attack in with just the Beastbinder. Just the Beastbinders? Yeah, we'll hold back the Leopard. I don't know, maybe I could have put out the Leopard. Again, confusing. And attack in. Boom, boom. Okay, no reanimation spell. Even if they have a reanimation spell, we have the Into the Flood Maw. We might get hit a little bit, but as long as this is not... Okay, it's so good for us. Okay. We are good. What do they grab with the Baelmerk, though? We're going to have to be holding up this for a long time. They grab a Carnosaur. That's not going to be good enough opponent, I'm afraid. So we can put out the Spyglass Siren, and I think we just kind of go for a 2-turn win here. We can attack in. We may as well attack with this. Do I also attack with this one? They will have enough damage if they put everything in front of it, because it'll be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay, no. So let's turn off the Baelmerk. Let's turn off the Fear of Missing Out. The Fear of Missing Out does notably have Delirium now. One of them is not tied down. But we still have plenty of interaction. We have all the interaction. I love the Simic deck. It just feels so... It just functions better than the Golgari deck. The Golgari deck just felt clunky is the right word. Maybe I should have attacked harder. I wasn't actually looking that the opponent is at 10 life. Maybe I could have found... No, there was never lethal, because they would have just blocked. Okay. So they're going to have to go through the Flood Maw and the Repulsive Mutation. There's no way that they're getting this win over us with these two cards. Trumpeting Carnosaur, they've used all their mana up. We will pump up the Siren. It doesn't matter. I should have put on the Ouroboroid just for better planning, but this is it. Beastbinder showing how powerful it is. Absolutely lock down the Fear of Missing Out. You know what? That feels particularly good to me, because you wouldn't believe how many games I go up against a Fear of Missing Out and it completely blocks me off from doing anything. I'm so glad that these Beastbinders have taught the Fear of Missing Out how it feels. Okay, let's keep this Simic train going. I actually just realized the other day, literally yesterday, that when I posted that Simic video, that did quite well, my best video ever so far. I love these cards, the Simic video. This hand was a bit questionable, by the way. I called it Samir in the title, and some people had made a joke about, oh, Samir something, and it didn't dawn on me what they were actually talking about, and I feel like such a dummy. I don't know, such a dum-dum. Okay, let's put out the Beastbinder, I suppose. I was thinking about Flood Pitch drowning the Hired Claw, but I think it's okay to go out with the Beastbinder. But yes, Samir, Simic, whatever you want to call it, the amount of misspeaking that comes out of my mouth is legendary. I was thinking about, at the start of one of my games, I should do like a little joke thing, like, oh, it's a drinking game. Every time I say the wrong thing, you have to have a shot. But I think I would induce alcohol poisoning before the end of the first game. Listening back to some of the videos when I'm editing them, holy moly, mush mouth. The opponent, whoa, scorching shot. My dude, what are we doing? All right. Fine. Okay, we have the Bushwhack. I think I need to use the Bushwhack to go get a basic land. Unfortunately, we're a little bit hamstrung on blue mana, and I don't really like that. I would have liked to fight this Hired Claw, but that doesn't seem to be happening. And I guess I will Spyglass Siren, make a treasure token, a map token rather, and then Flood Pitch Drowner out at the end of this turn. Let's see if they play out like a Screaming Nemesis. That would be a lot better to hit. Ooh, ouch. So now, do I want to take so much damage? I don't want to take 4 damage. I know it's going to be disappearing, but I think we still tap down the Nova Hellkite. It kills our Siren, and they can attack him with the Higher Claw. Honestly, do I put this in front of the Higher Claw? Maybe? I think I have to stop what they're doing and hope that I eventually draw into like an enduring curiosity. That's pretty cool. Actually, no. Let's make sure that it's tapping mana properly. I have lately I've been having a little bit of an issue with the auto tapper, like all of us. And we'll put out another Siren Spyglass. So anything that they target is going to pump up the team quite a bit now. That could be a pretty annoying thing for them. And I think I probably need to hold up this Repulsive Mutation for a future... that's fine. For a future Hellkite Dragon. That being said, they missed their land. Okay. Let's do this. Bushwhack. I don't think I want a Bushwhack. Okay. And let's put it on this one. Okay. Fine. So we can bounce the Screaming Nemesis and then counter something. Let's see what they're doing here. I might be willing to take 3 more damage from the Screaming Nemesis. I really don't want this Hellkite to hit the field. The Hellkite is going to pump up something, so they'll probably target this Paw Patch. I'll be able to put +2 on this one at the very least. A Razorkin Needlehead. So this is a deck that's looking to hurt Vivi. Okay, I think it's fine to bounce the Screaming Nemesis now. And pass the turn. Do they have something for 2? They have the Brash. What is it called? Bashtronaut. Burnout Bashtronaut. I never actually read that card. Okay, let's draw. It's a Snakeskin Veil. Snakeskin Veil's okay. Don't hate that card. Okay, so now I guess what the plan is attack with the Siren for 2. Pass the turn to the opponent. And then probably Repulsive Mutation and or turn on the Soulstone Sanctuary. So if I turn on the Soulstone Sanctuary, it costs me 4. I cannot also Mutation. So let's do this X4. X4 or X3? I think I have to do it X3. I have to be careful. Oh, no, no, no! Okay, sometimes the auto tapper is not the only opponent. Sometimes big fat fingers are an actual opponent. Wow, what a misclick. I was just clicking, and this game might actually be over now. This was supposed to go a lot differently. Whoa, I feel like such a dummy. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. This Flood Pitch Drowner is actually a really good draw. Maybe I saved myself there by activating that. Okay, Flood Pitch Drowner. Hit the Screaming Nemesis. I want them to play out the Hellkite. Actually, I do want this. Okay. Man, when you're recording it and you see it happen in your eye, boom. Do they have burn? This feels like they have burn, right? So let's put the Drowner in front of this. The thing is, okay, they're going to take me down to 3. If they have 1 burn spell, we can Repulsive Mutation and we can win because we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We can't win. We have 10 damage. So I have to do this. Okay. That feels bad. Also, we're going to be taking damage from the Needlehead. Oh, man. I think loading up the Restless Vinestalk was probably just ended it for us. But, actually, we do have that card. Hold up. Okay. Come on, do something. Use your mana. Yes, okay. This time, I don't care. I'm just doing it for X1 or X3. So I wanted to hold up the Snakeskin Veil is the reason I did it the way I did it. But if they end up targeting the thing that I target here. Okay, let me think. Oh my god. 3, 4, 5, 6, and that damage there. I can turn this on with that mana. Okay, I only need to do it for 1. Okay. Here, here. Autopay. They don't have any interaction? Okay. Resolve. Sure. Turn this on. Hang on. No, it costs a little bit more than that. So if I do this, it's so risky. If I put this out, they might have something. They might. Oh man, they don't have anything. They don't have anything. They don't. Okay. How much damage is this? This is enough, right? Okay. I don't know. That was the sketchiest game I think I've played in a very long time. Okay, I think maybe I need to stand up and go for like a little bit of a walk. Whew. Tell you, sometimes playing around stuff really makes you antsy, I guess, anxious. I'm not sure. Hey, this looks kind of cool. We need a land, but it still looks pretty awesome. If we can get out a turn 2 Surrock, that's gonna be pretty good. Let's try that. It looks like we're against artifacts. We do have good stuff against artifacts in this deck, so we'll see if that's the case. It absolutely is the case. A turn 2 Surrock against artifacts is okay in my book, and we can potentially get out a turn 3 Ouroboroid, and if the turn 3 Ouroboroid lives, which it never does, but if in some miraculous act of God, it is allowed to stay on the board for 1 turn, we have the Repulsive Mutation, we'll just take over this game. That is the game plan, but I don't know if I'm brave enough. Am I brave enough? They play out the Adalgia, ooh, and a Cryogenic Relic. So we have our opening. I think it is the only thing that I should be doing. Okay. At the very worst, let's say they remove the Ouroboroid with their card that I never remember what it's called. Then we still at least have 7 points of damage on the field. We have a Repulsive Mutation. There's the Battlefront. Always a turn 4 Battlefront for our opponents playing this. Perilous Snare. That's the card that they always have. If there's been a theme, if there's been a theme to my videos lately, the theme is the opponent always has the Perilous Snare. The opponent always has the interaction to get rid of my Ouroboroid every single time. Okay, it's fine. I'm not angry about it. I'm a little angry about it. And they also have a 5/5. So if I do this, I can't kick it. I'm a little bit short on mana. I want to hold up everything. I want to do 6. I want to do a lot of things. So if we hold up this for that, I can put out that, but I can't do the Flood Maw thing. I want to Flood Maw and get my Ouroboroid back, but I also want to do the Repulsive Mutation. I think probably I just have to pass the turn. I think I can put out this. That's fine, right? Yes. So Flyer in the air, it's okay. And we still have enough mana. Let's see if they have another United Battlefront. It's kind of what I'm expecting. It's a Repurposing Bay. We cannot allow a Repurposing Bay onto the field. So we are going to do this for X. Tapping mana manually again. How brave I am. X1. We are going to put it on this. We're going to counter this. And that's fine. Boop, boop. They have 2 mana open. Sure. And then hopefully they just pass the turn. That'd be real swell. They could attack in with a 5/5. Wouldn't that be great? A loaded Sawblade to remove my poor elf. Okay. Draw card. Repulsive Mutation. Not what we wanted. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess I do this. It's, oopsie, wrong side. I could just remove this thing. They get that back, or they get that. Ooh, okay. So let's be greedy and load up the team. We'll put this on this. Oh, we hit it. Nice. And a Drowner's okay. I'm fine with a Drowner. We'll pay 2 life. We'll pump everything up, and we are attacking in with Surok and the Siren Spyglass. Now, if they end up having, of course, if they end up having the Star Cage, that's going to be a problem. They do have the Perilous Snare, so they might just be using that on the Ouroboroid, which they need to get rid of the Ouroboroid. But I kind of feel like they're only going to be able to do one thing this turn. And anything that they target, if they're targeting, okay. How do I feel about this? This is fine, right? It's not fine because they are... Can they do this at instant speed? They can't. They're going to make a... They don't have a land. I'm gonna. Well, it doesn't matter, because even if they play out the repurposing bay, they are just going to be getting another golem. They won't be able to Star Cage us. Okay, let's hope they don't have any more land. No land. They would have slammed. They would have windmill slammed that land if they had one. No question about that. We got Trample, we got a Flyer, we got a 4/6 Ouroboroid. Our hand is on the field, though. Okay. That's fine. That's super fine. Cool, 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 cool. Oh, yes, yes. It feels so good to get through the artifact deck. Simic is where it's at. Okay, 3 more games to go. Ulcerus? What a cool opponent's name, Ulcerus. Okay, this is not going to work. Mulligan that one away. Eey. Okay, wow, this is real bad. Okay, I think we met our match. Our match is our own deck. Uh-huh. Okay, we're going to assume the opponent is not on... not on artifacts. And I think... Wow, this is... Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay, hey, if you're going to lose to landfall, you're going to lose to landfall because you had to mulligan to 5. Ooh, not landfall. Okay, whoa, whoa, what are we doing here, opponent? Town Greeter? When this enters, mill 4 cards, put a land card from among them into your hand. Oh, it is a landfall deck. There is their Ice Till. So... Do I put this out? Sure. We put out a 2/2 Undergrowth Leopard, and the opponent looks at that and they go, what? So Golgari Landfall, that's kind of neat. What am I expecting out of the Golgari? Oh, they're probably playing the Lizard that is pinging every time that a land enters. For some reason, these lands, or whenever I look at something, it keeps sticking today. Okay. So there is an Aftermath Analyst. And our Undergrowth Leopard is actually standing in the way of everything. What do we do from here? I think probably I just need to establish a board. I'm going to put out the recruits and kind of just hope that the opponent's hand is garbage. I think that's my only hope. Sorceress's Scheme. Return target instant sorcery card from your graveyard or exile card with flashback you own to your hand. Add red. Oh, see, I don't know why it keeps locking up on me. There we go. I don't know what the opponent is onto, and I think we're struggling so much with our lands that we might actually end up seeing what kind of craziness is going on here. There is the Iridescent Vine Lasher. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Ulcerus is doing neat stuff. I can appreciate that. They are milling, though, all their Vine Lashers into the bin. Wow. talk about your bad draws. I mean, it's not the worst, but we're in trouble. I might use this Bushwhack. I don't want that. I might use this Bushwhack to go get a land. The theory is, if I end up finding the Ouroboroid, then we pump up the group. Hopefully they don't have any interaction, and then that's how we win this game. I think that's kind of my only hope at this point. They are going to start pinging us for a ton, I'm sure. They're probably going to find an Offspring Vine Lasher. That's what their deck is built around. Okay, Spelunking for them. Do they get to return something with a Spelunking? When this enters, draw a card, then you may put a land card from your hand onto the field. If it is a cave, gain 4 life. Lands enter untapped. Cool. So they are down to 2 cards. They have a whole bunch of stuff in their graveyard that they can cast. They have the Sorcerer's Scheme. They have, of course, all of their lands that they're able to play out with the Ice Till. And they are milling more stuff into that. I wonder if we're going to see a World Sire. Wouldn't that be cool? They get the Vine Lashers onto the field and then they World Sire and just pull all of their lands out. But that might not happen because we're going to draw. We're 100... Oh, that card does it anyways. I didn't read the second part of this card. Aftermath Analyst. Sacrifice this creature, return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Cool. So they have ramped into Oblivion. I mean, if you're gonna lose to something, yeah. But they're gonna like, are they just milling themselves out? There's 34 cards. We're to our 49 cards. We're gonna draw. What I was gonna say is we're gonna draw an Ouroboroid, and that was before the opponent started doing a whole bunch of stuff. You know, Vivi is so tilting. This deck is doing what Vivi does, right? Sacrifice a creature, 1 of 2. Okay. Poor leopard. Okay. Whoa. Hang on. Where did my life go? Each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Oh my god, this is cool. How much did he just hit me? He hit me for like 12. And it's not, unfortunately, we do not find our Ouroboroid, but what we do find is an opening to attack in for 5. Good game for the opponent. The opponent must have another Season. They do have it. It's sitting right there. Season of Loss, a card I have never seen before, but that is just cool. And we get smacked for 14 damage. You can't be angry about that. That's cool. All right. Game number 6. So far, 4-1. Not bad. Our last opponent doing awesome stuff. This hand, not great looking, but if we peel an Ouroboroid off the top, then things get very fun. Repulsive Mutation also would be very welcome off the top to kind of keep the opponent in check. The opponent with a Molt Tender. Okay. Okay, let's conserve a little bit of life. We'll put out the Beast Binder, and then we will just put the Breeding Pool onto the field tapped. This card is going to be milling themselves. Oh, it's an Insidious Root Stack. Okay, we're running into scary stuff, to be perfectly honest. That last deck doing the really cool stuff. Self-mill lands, craziness. And the opponent, okay, they see the Ouroboroid, they don't have the interaction for it, and sometimes an Ouroboroid just does that. You know what, I'd rather the opponent just early scoop than immediately remove it. Last one. All right, our 7th and final game, 5-1 against Magic Arena itself. We are against the client. And oh, whoa, hey, guess what card I completely forgot was in my deck? Enduring Curiosity. Imagine that. We do have enough... No, we don't have the mana to get out the Enduring Curiosity on turn number 4, unfortunately. On turn 3, unfortunately. We do need another blue source. Blue sources in the deck, I think, are fine. Simic mana is very powerful right now, and I think, for the most part, we should be okay to find our land drops. The opponent is on, of course, Sephiroth. What are they called? Aristocrats. Okay, I could have, it didn't matter which way I did this. This is fine. We're going to put out the Imago. This is the first time we're seeing the Genomorph Imago hit in the field. This card has been oddly absent. Now, we're only playing 2 copies in the deck. This card originally was a 4 of in my first Simic deck, and I think I'm now down to 2. It's a card that's very good. You definitely want some number of it, but having more than 1 on the field is not really great. Like, it's fine, but there are other things that you would maybe want to be doing. Okay, the opponent is actually doing some very powerful stuff over here. They got their Vengeful Blood Witch, they got their Snarling Gorehound, and they have their Sacrifice Fodder, up to 3 lands. It's possible that they hit a Raise the Past very soon, and we just won't be able to do too much about that. So they're getting in with the Infestation Sage. I don't think I want to block it. Yeah, you know what? You hit me for 1. This game is not about blocking that thing. Okay, so a little unfortunate that we're still missing on our blue mana, because I would really like to start drawing cards. But I think it is what it is. Let's put out the Siren. And we're going to make a map. We're going to put the map token on the Siren. Okay. We know what we're doing. We have a Snakeskin Veil available right now. We can protect everything. We're going to have a land drop for the next turn. So that means we can go Ouroboroid, hit the land drop, pump up the Ouroboroid, and then pump up the team. So we're in a pretty good spot, assuming the opponent doesn't absolutely blow us out with, I don't know. Even a Sephiroth right now is not too terrifying. A second Blood Witch, powerful. Again, I don't mind it. I think I don't mind. Okay. Are they going to attack in? Probably, yeah. Why not? I don't know about this attack with the Infestation Sage. I think that's probably not the right play from the opponent. Especially since they know that I have the Ouroboroid here. So, boom, boom. And we're just going to get in with these 2. We're going to hold back the Llanowar Elf. And next turn, if they cannot remove the Ouroboroid, if they cannot remove these creatures, if they can't gain a bunch of life, they're dead. Does this make a flyer? It does make a flyer. So we are 100% not blocking the Infestation Sage. They got 1 card in hand. We have the Snakeskin Veil available. This looks good. Even though we couldn't get the Enduring Curiosity in the field, man, the Ouroboroid doing its thing. Sure, it can't block attack. Okie dokie. What are they doing? Why are they delaying here? Making me nervous. Surely they don't have... I mean, what could they possibly have with 1 card and 3 mana available? There's nothing they could have here. Unfortunately, the opponent put their Sacrifice card into the graveyard. So we take a little hit. Poor Fibbleflub over here is afraid. Looking at his map now. That's cool. Come on. Okay, finally pass over to us. We hit a land. Land's pretty good because a land means Ouroboroid gets a little bit bigger. I feel like they have... What would they be playing? They must have some way of shooting the Ouroboroid. Okay, we have now 21 damage in the air. And that should be enough. I don't know what all these delays are. There it is. Okay, we end with a 6-1, losing to a very, very cool deck. You never mind that, and we're ranking up with Simic Ouroboroid. It's still the best deck. Still the best one. All right, what's to be said about this deck? Not only does it just feel very solid, it fits together so nicely, it is also incredibly fun to play. I think Flash in general is just a very fun mechanic in Magic to play. Whenever you can play stuff reactively on your opponent's turn, always good. So instant speed things, we have Repulsive Mutation, we have the Snakeskin Veil, Into the Flood Maw, we got our Drowner and our Enduring Curiosity, which never showed up, but you know it's powerful. Enduring, man, we went 6-1 without playing any Enduring Curiosities. That is crazy. This deck, I think, has a ton of potential. I think you could argue that maybe the Undergrowth Leopard is being a little bit too cute, especially when we have the Into the Flood Maw that is already bouncing stuff. But, you know, bouncing the Star Cage, bouncing the Snare, what is it called? I'm not going to remember what it's called. The Snare. It's only a temporary fix. It's a Band-Aid. That being said, usually when we bounce something like that, we're able to win on the following turn because these low to the ground creatures are just so pesky. The opponent can't deal with them. They're on the board doing massive things. The Beastbinder, crazy card. Flood Pitch Drowner, getting rid of a blocker, being a big threat, Flash, all good. Everything in the deck feels right. Nothing feels out of place. Whereas with the Golgari deck, things did feel like, I could cut that and put in other stuff. This card's not really jiving with the plan too well. I don't like that. This deck feels solid. When you put Simic cards, green and blue cards together with the Ouroboroid, things just kind of click. And that's why I think this is still the king. So we have now played 3 variants of the Ouroboroid, Gruul, Golgari, and Simic. I think it's very clear the ordering of how those decks have fallen. I highly recommend, if you're still into playing Ouroboroid, play Simic. That's the best place for you to put your resources into crafting something. There's also still other decks, though. I have heard chatter that a Selesnya, putting white with the green, is very powerful. Selesnya does have a lot of good synergies with counters, so it could be a very powerful approach to this deck. The problem with Selesnya is that the mana base kind of sucks right now because we never got the Temple Garden. Temple Garden is the shock land that is eventually coming? Question mark, right? Right now we have the breeding pool, but we don't have the white-green shock land. Give it time. You could also try mono-green. Mono-green Ouroboroid in kind of a green aggro shell is probably going to be okay. But I think this is the king. I always enjoy playing the Simic version. It always plays well for me. I never have a bad time. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and let me know what you thought about this little series, playing a common card for a whole week, 3 different videos, seeing how it can play in different shells. If you'd like to see more content like this, do let me know down in the comments. And otherwise, just say hi, or yarp, or yer. Some people just post whatever they want in the comments, and that's fine. I love the interaction. It helps the channel out a lot. Take care for now. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.